Hello everyone, my name is Lutamo Monamid and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, a special welcome to you. I hope that you'll enjoy today's video and other videos that I've posted and hopefully subscribe. So today I'm doing one of those fun videos, and that fun video is a Q&A. I'm doing a question and answer session for the first time this year. I must say I've gotten some good questions, so I'm excited to answer. I'm excited to get into these questions. I tried not to look at them quite often so that I could answer as authentically as possible during this video. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get into the question. Question number 1. As a Christian artist, how do you make sure that you're not influenced by the world? All right. Okay, so this is quite an interesting question because it's a question that I'm also still trying to navigate around. I wouldn't really say that I am not influenced by the world, but I would say that I try my best to not be influenced by the world. And my ways of doing that is honestly solitude time. I try my best to spend time alone so that I can gather myself and gather my relationship with God. I find for myself that when I'm surrounded by people or when I'm in public spaces for a long time, I end up losing that part of me that feels still and that part of me that feels connected to God. So the way in which I try to not be influenced by the world is through alone time and through a moment of seclusion, if I may put it like that. You can't really hide away from the fact that we are Christians in the world, and the world will always have an influence on us, and it's just our responsibility to find a way to find those little gaps in which we can reclaim our identity and reclaim our connection to God, so that we are honestly living a truthful life as Christians and not living a double-sided life as Christians. Yeah. The second question is, what is your greatest aspiration in life? Sure. What is my greatest aspiration in life? It's very hard to pinpoint one thing. It's very hard to pinpoint a couple of things as my greatest aspiration. And the reason behind that is because I wouldn't really say that I have a set result, a set thing that I would like to achieve at the end of my lifetime. I would say that my greatest aspiration currently is to keep growing. I think that sometimes it's so easy to assume that just because you're getting older, you're actually growing. And I truly believe, personally, my personal take on that is not really. Yes, life's experiences come and they kind of teach you to live in a specific way and live in a new way that is foreign to you, so you kind of grow in that regard. But when it comes to things like personal growth, things like spiritual growth, things like physical growth, and things that have to, and by physical growth I mean physical health, ensuring that you stay physically healthy, things that have to do with intentional growth, those are things I would call my aspiration in life. I would like to live my life like a student, as I always like to refer to myself. I like to call myself a student of life, and I call myself that because, one, I'm a work in progress and I'll forever be a work in progress. Two, if you assume that you know it all, that's when you really stop growing, and I never want to get to that point where I assume that I know it all. So yeah, that's my greatest aspiration in life, to keep growing, to keep growing internally, to keep growing as a person, to become a better person, to become more good, to become more of service, to become more of to leave an impact, and not necessarily impact in terms of to thousands of people, but more of an impact on the people who know me closest. Do I leave an impact that allows them to feel loved? Do I leave an impact that allows them to feel appreciated and wanted? And how do I treat those people? How do I treat the people that I meet for the first time? All these little things that are intricate and fall part of the true meaning of life. I just really want to keep growing in those aspects of my being. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Alright, so let's move on to the third question. The third question is, who's your biggest supporter? Okay, so first of all, I don't even have one supporter. I have multiple supporters. So for me to say there is one supporter who is the biggest of them all, I would be lying, because I do not. Sure, first and foremost, this falls as one category. My family and close friends, they are my biggest supporters. I acknowledge the fact that for me to be where I am in terms of the school that I'm in terms of the career that I'm currently pursuing in dance, all of this started off with my mom believing in me and my mom giving me the opportunity to firstly study what I want, and to secondly pursue a career that, for my family, my family is very academic, so coming from an academic family was foreign, but she allowed me to pursue it. So she, if I'm to point it out, she is one of the biggest supporters in my life. And other people are my closest friends. I have such a beautiful friend group, and I appreciate them because they are the people that, when I'm going through a very difficult season, they're the people that I call, they're the people that walk me through that season, they're the people that pray for me, they're the people that pray with me, they're the people that remind me to keep pursuing God and to keep staying with God. And my thing is, if anything, every single friendship that I have, I always intend for it to be a friendship that brings me closer to God. And the friends that I have, they are my biggest supporters because they strengthen the pillar that I stand on. They strengthen the foundation that I stand on, and I appreciate them so much. And sure, I really appreciate them. So a big thank you to them, a big thank you to the people who, they know themselves, my closest friends, they know who they are. And this one is honestly just a question that immediately as I read it, I just think of you guys. I think of you guys, and I think of my family and my mom, my brother, my closest friends. Y'all, much love. Not even, I'm lying, even my family, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, everyone is my biggest supporter, honestly. They all support me in different ways, but they have played a big impact in the person that I am. So, like I said, family and friends, they are my biggest supporter. Yeah. Question number 4. How has your experience been so far in the entertainment industry? Okay, the first thing first, this experience, just a word, I would say a word to encompass everything that I've been through so far would be blessed. Obviously I would call myself a person who's still new to this industry. However, I consider myself immensely blessed to have immensely blessed to have met the people that I've met, to have worked with the people that I've worked with, and to work with the people that I'm working with. I consider myself immensely blessed. It's just, sure, it's been a wonderful experience. I wouldn't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted at all, and I wouldn't even consider every single thing that might be considered a negative. To me, it has been a learning experience. Every single thing that has challenged me has been a learning experience, and everything that has challenged me for the better. Yeah, I hope my answer is sufficient enough to express that I am a happy person and I'm grateful to be in this industry. Yeah. All right, question number 5. Question number 5. Would you ever do a day in the life vlogs to show your followers what you get up to? Would I ever do a day in the life vlogs? Should I do a day in the life vlogs? I don't know, maybe I should be asking you guys, should I be doing a day in the life vlogs for my YouTube channel? Well, to answer, would I ever do it? Honestly, I have been thinking about it. I would say never say never. So I have been thinking about it. I've been considering it. There's no harm in sharing what goes on in in my days. The only thing though is I have been thinking about it, but the reason why I've been hesitant is because there's still that part of me that's very what's the word? What's the word? Very protective of my personal space. So when I think of day in the lives, I mean the vlogs that I've watched of people who produce day in the lives, those vlogs look intimate. Like you see everything, and for me, I mean it's pleasurable to watch, it's great to watch, but I'm still adjusting. I'm still trying to, I guess, step out of that thing that, oh my gosh, it's so intimate, and I'm so protective of my personal space. I'm so protective of my alone time and my personal time. So that's just one of those things that I've been trying to work around when it comes to the day in the life of. So I would do it, but it's going to take a whole lot of restructuring my way of thinking and my way of viewing these day in the life vlogs. But this is a question for everyone listening. If you would like to see a day in the life vlog in my life, please do type it down in the comment section below, because I would love to find out if it's actually something that people are interested in. I mean, this question might be implying that it is something that people are interested in, so let me know. Right, and then this is the 6th question, I believe. Is it the 6th question? I'm just gonna say the next question because I've lost count now. All right. How many hours do you normally sleep a night? Okay, so this changes all the time. Sometimes I have to sleep late and wake up early. Sometimes I get to choose how long I sleep, but initially, well, this year, honestly, I've been more intentional about sleeping 8 hours a day. Initially, I used to think 8 hours is too long, I'm wasting time, I should be, but right now I'm more intentional about sleeping 8 hours a day. And the reason behind that is because I want to start being intentional about my health, so that at a later stage in my life I don't have to struggle with things that could have been solved or resolved had I just taken time to look after myself now. So I'm trying to practice sleeping 8 hours a day. So it changes all the time, but when I say changes all the time, if for example I sleep at 9 p.m. I set my alarm to ensure that I have 8 hours of sleep, which means I'll wake up maybe at 5 or 6. If I sleep at 11, I set my time to wake me up at 7. So I always set times so that I'm sleeping 8 hours a day. And I find that when I sleep longer, I get sluggish throughout the day. So I try my best to not sleep longer than 8 hours. I also sometimes tend to go for 7 hours. I don't know, I'm still working on it, but it's to answer the question, it varies, but I aim for 8 hours a night. Have I been saying a day? I feel like I've been saying 8 hours a day. Anyways, point of correction, 8 hours a night. Yeah. Right, next question is, why are you not active on TikTok? Now, a couple of people have asked me this question, and I have not had a good answer to it. But to be honest, I think I've not been, not I think, I know. I haven't been active on TikTok because I'm still trying to figure out the TikTok space. I'm still trying to figure out what I really want to use it for. And honestly, people say TikTok is just for fun. It's just about doing what you love and just putting it out there and really just having fun with it. And I agree. I've seen TikTok as something that's like that, but I'm still trying to adjust to it. I am not really active on it that much. As much as I don't post, I'm also not that active on it. I don't log on into it a lot. So I miss trends and I miss things, and people will be like, do you know this new dance? And I'm like, no, I don't know it. And it has nothing to do with me being against TikTok or anything like that. It just has everything to do with me not being used to it. So I'm still adjusting to the platform. A few years later, embarrassment, but I'm still adjusting to it, and I'm also learning to not take myself so seriously in terms of myself as a dancer. I'm aware that TikTok sometimes is just, about dancers having fun, and even people who are not dancers, it's just about having fun and exploring simple things and, moving, just having fun to music. And I'm learning to, I think with me not being on TikTok, it's just me still working on that part of me that's, I guess, too serious, if I can put it like that. So I guess I'll warm up and I'll learn to have fun and learn to not take myself too seriously as a dancer. Second last question is, how do you balance university and your dance work? Wow, now I'm always receiving this question. I think this is the third time somebody asks me this question of how do I balance university and dance work. I actually think I am going to release a video. I said this last time, and this time I will do so for sure. I will release a video just dedicated to answering this question because it's one of my most asked questions, and I think it would be great to give it a full video of its own, so that if somebody ever wonders, they can just refer to that video and get a more in-depth explanation, a more detailed explanation of how I balance university and dance. And then now let's move on to the last question. The last question is, what is your proudest moment? I wouldn't really say I have a proud moment. I have a couple of proud moments. So what is my proudest moment? I would say my proudest moment, first and foremost, is winning Dance Your Dumo. That is one of my proudest moments. And one of my other ones is, I have a couple of moments, but one of my other ones was also winning a leadership award during my high school years. Well, the reason why, just to explain why they are my proudest moments, Dance Your Dumo is my proudest moment because it came at a time when my faith was truly, it was a time in which my faith was reassured and my faith was solidified. As I've posted, if I've released a video before, and in that video I stated that it was my time of obeying God, and I saw that in obedience and in listening to God's whisper and listening to God's voice, miraculous things can happen. And I appreciate it because it's also opened the doors for where I am today. It's opened the doors and built new friendships that I have today, and it's honestly such a beautiful moment in my life and one of my proudest moments because it makes every single training session, every single time that I spend in the studio, it makes it worth it because it shows that all the self-doubt and sometimes thinking that I'm not too good and all of that, even though I still have so much work to do on my dancing, I appreciate that that moment was just an affirmation of the fact that everything that I have been putting into this dance space is worth it. And the reason why getting a leadership award was something that I consider my proudest moment is because once again it was also an affirmation of God's love for me. I think that award was in a way God's reminder that I should not be afraid to speak. I should not be afraid to stand up for what I believe in. I should not be afraid to be a black sheep. I should not be afraid to not follow the path that everyone else is following. It was more of a personal affirmation to me that it's okay to be different and it's okay to pursue difference. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're right sometimes, but if your intuition and your gut tells you that this is the right thing to do in the moment, go for it. So yeah, that leadership award for me was that affirmation, that personal reminder. And every single time I go home and see it, I see the award, of course, the physical award, but I always take it as a reminder to keep on pursuing whatever it is that God may want me to pursue. So yeah, those are my proudest moments, and I know that every single thing that I have shared has come with a reason and a story behind it, and I think that's just how I work through my life. I always try to find the meaning behind something, and sometimes people say, no, just live life and enjoy it, just don't think about it so much. And I think Of course, it has its pros and cons, but I've come to appreciate the fact that I am very sentimental about things, and my sentimental being is just me being an emotional person and trying to live life in the best way that I can with my being. And yeah, this is honestly the last, I think it's the last question. Let me check. Yes, it is. That's the last question for this question and answer. And I hope that to those who just tuned in, you've gotten a bit more information about the person that I am. I hope that it has informed you a bit about how I think and how I process life, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, answer the question that I asked you, whether I should do more day in the life vlogs. And yes, I'll see you all next time. Thank you all for watching. Bye.